The job is done. Now it's time to go. The burn chamber at Camp Minden is set to leave soon following the completion of its task. How residents feel about that decision.
Plus, concerns over concealed carrying of guns on Arkansas college campuses. It begins in less than a month.
And a heat advisory is back for some of the Arklets X tomorrow. I'll show you where the heat will be the worst in your forecast. Coverage you can count on starts right now.
Broadcasting live with coverage you can count on. This is KSLA News 12 at 5.
A 5-year-long ordeal is about to end for all the communities surrounding Camp Minden after the first in a series of explosions beginning back in 2012. Now, nearly 16 million pounds of improperly stored M6 artillery propellant is gone. It's been destroyed by the burn chamber that is set to leave Camp Minden within the next month. That huge burn chamber arrived with much fanfare a year and a half ago. Well,
once in place, it was used to destroy all that propellant as planned in 1 year's time. Work wrapped up back in April. A little bit of debate what to do next. Well, KSLA News 12's Jeff Farrell reports on that big plan. What is next?
Well, this story just keeps going on, and it has so many different elements to it. But we should point out that 4 months ago, the announcement came that the burn chamber would eventually leave Camp Minden. Now we're told it's actually about to happen. As the burn chamber's task got closer to the end, the company running the operation, Explosive Service International, started a television and public relations push to stay at Camp Minden. They wanted to become a permanent fixture there, serving as a toxic waste disposal site. But the public pushed back, and the governor made the final decision that the burn chamber had to go. Now we're told it could be gone within a month or so. Have you heard that they're taking that thing away?
Yeah.
And what's your feeling?
Heck yeah. They don't need to be here.
Authorities now tell us at least 3 companies are interested in buying and removing the burn chamber to take it either out of state or even out of the country. But that purchase isn't the only detail to be worked out. In fact, it turns out that the U.S. Justice Department still needs to reimburse the state of Louisiana $3 million, all to pay for this final phase of the project as it finally wraps up. Reporting in the studio, Jeff Farrell, KSLA News 12.
All right, Jeff, thanks. Developing now, Planet Aqua Group, the company behind Shreveport Aquarium, is taking over management of Shreveport, Louisiana's Science Center. The announcement was made just hours ago at Shreveport Riverfront Avenue. KSLA News 12's Melissa Kakarika joins us live from the Shreveport area with the very latest. Melissa.
Yeah, and this management change is going to mean big changes to all the exhibits here. Now, here's an example of one of them. This machine's popular with the kids. You can see you turn it and watch the ball go. Like I said, this is a popular one, but exhibits like this are pretty much going to be completely redone. They're going to be more accessible, more attractive. And Shreveport and Planet Aqua Group want to get rid of any exhibits that just aren't really important anymore, relevant anymore. Now, in addition to physical changes here at the building and at the exhibits, this also means a total restructuring of everything financial, Shrveport's financial reporting, as well as a restructuring of their personnel. Those employees will be laid off, about 72 of them, at least temporarily, while Shreveport closes. And Planet Aqua Group, they're going to act as executive director. And in case you don't know, Planet Aqua Group also runs the aquarium. So there's a lot of excitement about what this cooperation might look like. Shreveport officials call it a big day.
This is a very exciting announcement. This is a happy day. We're very, very excited going forward for Shreveport and making Shreveport better for our customers and our community.
As far as that temporary closure, this is going to close on Labor Day and then reopen at the end of the year on New Year's Eve. Hopefully, the only thing that will remain open during that period is the IMAX theater. But officials say when it does reopen, it will be bigger and better than before. Melissa Kakarika, KSLA News 12.
All right, Melissa, thank you. KSLA News 12 has covered the investigation into Shrveport's financial problems from the very beginning. You can watch all of the findings in full detail on our KSLA News 12 app as well as our KSLA.com website.
Well, she's lived through immeasurable heartache over the last 2 weeks. We're talking about a Shreveport mother who lost her young son after he was swept away in floodwaters in Shreveport earlier this month. 7-year-old Deshaun Combest's body was found 2 days after he went missing. His mother, Mary Edmond, contacted me to talk about Deshaun, who she describes as lovable, smart, and her protector. She shared details of that stormy afternoon when Deshaun and his sister were running home after being caught in a heavy rainstorm. That's when they believe Deshaun fell into an open drainage system just outside their family home. It's a horrible accident Mary hopes no mother ever has to go through.
If you're not loving your kids, love them. Hug them every day and tell them you love them. Because you don't never know when they're going to be gone. He with me right now, giving me strength to talk.
Tonight on KSLA News 12 at 10, you'll hear more of my exclusive interview with Deshaun's mother as she shares more about her young son and what happened back on that tragic August 1st afternoon.
New Orleans Sewerage and Water Board had a new problem to deal with today. They are worried about a staffing shortfall measured in the hundreds as they prepare for the heart of hurricane season. This comes as they try to shore up weaknesses in pumps and electrical generations following recent flooding. Raycom News Network's Rob Mason has a story.
The Orleans Sewerage and Water Board met today to update equipment repairs and learn about a couple of new problems, including a staffing shortfall of nearly 300 people, with more retirements on the way.
We need a careful analysis of all of these people who are eligible for retirement.
But there are staffing problems with the board itself. 3 board members recently resigned, and Alan Arnold is on the fence.
Do I think my wife says no. She's the number one person saying we've had enough. But I'm being asked by a lot of people to stay, and I'm in the process of making up my mind.
If Arnold steps down, the board loses its quorum, prompting a special request from the board president.
What I'm asking you to do is to not leave us in a position.
While the Sewerage and Water Board is down nearly 300 positions, managers are being asked to try and fill those posts as quickly as they can, while they at the same time hold on to the most experienced workers.
The board will now work to hold on to who they can while they try and get civil service to speed up the hiring process.
Y'all go meet with the Civil Service Commission and the people that run civil service. Make sure that we get as close to being on the same page as we can about what the real hindrances are. And then let's come back to us and make a report about what other barriers we have to break down.
The mayor also wants to put in an interim management team, which is raising some citizens' concern in spite of a Landrieu pledge not to privatize.
With all due respect, Mayor Landrieu, I appreciate that you're saying that there's no intent to privatize, but what you have outlined is a playbook of privatization.
Problems with drainage became evident 10 days ago when hundreds of cars, homes, and businesses flooded because of broken drainage pumps and inoperable turbines and a very heavy rain.
I had no idea it was out of service.
Today, the mayor said system-wide 104 of 120 pumps are now working after one of the 6 broken pumps at Station 6 was repaired last night. And he says only 2 of 5 turbines are operational.
Which is why we rang the bell and why these contractors are here as we speak.
Some of those contractors may actually start operating pumps next week.
Mayor Landrieu has called for a special council meeting tomorrow to win approval of a $3 million cash infusion to help deal with the current emergency as the tropics heat up.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Storm Tracker 12 Chief Meteorologist Jeff Castle here. We've been dealing with basically isolated rain around the Arklatex, but some of it has been dumping some brief heavy downpours for those of you that have seen the wet weather. Right now, not a whole lot to show you on Live First Alert Doppler, but there are some isolated showers continuing to flare up here. One right over Vivian, but that's going to move on pretty quickly as it's not very big and it is on the move. We take you into southwest Arkansas. Showers here across parts of Nevada as well as Columbia counties. Those are starting to die out just a bit, but won't rule out some more isolated development for maybe another couple of hours before we see those rain chances dry up for good later this evening. 91 at the airport, 92 downtown, 91 in Bossier City, 93 Southern Hills. The cool spot, Barksdale Air Force Base right now. Last check, it was 87 degrees there. Here's your forecast this evening. Those rain chances dropping after 7 o'clock tonight. Temperatures will be dropping as well, although slowly. 85 at 7, 82 at 9. We'll be down to 81 by 11 o'clock this evening. Back in a few moments, expecting better chances for showers and storms. And we have some heat advisories to tell you about as well. We'll check all that out on the way in your forecast.
Today, groups of activists in Texas criticized the recently ended special session. They say it pushed through legislation that was cruel and hateful. The groups add it was an attempt to cut the civil liberties of women, people of color, and LGBTQ Texans. Several proposals from Governor Greg Abbott's wish list did not make it through the session, including school finance, property tax reform, and the controversial bathroom bill.
The Texas legislature has shown us time and time again that when given the option, they will vote for hostility, for violence, for racism, for discrimination, and we are outraged.
This is a completely dysfunctional system that is not working on the issues that matter to the people of Texas.
Abbott, however, did get half of his agenda to the finish line. The bills passed include new restrictions on abortion and an immigration bill that would punish sanctuary cities and force local law enforcement to comply with federal immigration requests.
In Arkansas, campus carry laws go into effect the first of next month. The law allows concealed carry permit holders to bring guns on public college campuses. But as Seth Stevenson reports, faculty at one college campus has concerns about the law.
Many faculty members here at the University of Arkansas still have a lot of questions about this new law, but law enforcement officials say that just because the law goes into effect on the 1st doesn't mean guns will be in the classroom on that date.
How do we change the way we teach classes? How do staff members change the way they interact with students?
These are just a few of the many questions asked at the forum, giving these faculty members the chance to seek out more information from law enforcement.
There are a lot of misconceptions, I think, about what provisions are in the law, what's allowed, what's not allowed, who can carry, who can't carry, and what procedures we should employ in the classrooms and in our workplaces at the university.
Guest speakers from 3 law enforcement agencies say there are many questions they can't answer right now, since work is still being done to prepare for the law. Faculty member Michael Pierce says he's just happy to see that their concerns are being heard.
We're at the point now that's about implementation, and I think all of us can come together and realize that that communications is essential for this to be implemented in a way that promotes workplace safety.
Voss says he does not think the law is needed on the U of A campus, but agrees with Pierce, saying the best thing they can do now is learn.
I've been here for 22 years and have not ever had never felt unsafe on the campus. But the time for that discussion is long past. I mean, this law was debated for a number of years in our state. The legislature saw fit to pass the law, and we're here to help our employees accommodate the law as it gets implemented in 2 weeks.
Texas, Colorado, Georgia, and Mississippi have passed similar laws.
40 years ago today, the world lost the man known as the king of rock and roll. A look at the life and career of Elvis Presley.
Plus, robots are taking over at least some of the workload at this hotel. I need more towels. We'll explain. Jeff?
And we are going to be tracking some scattered showers and thunderstorms coming up for you Thursday. I've got the latest on those rain chances in your forecast after this break. Stay with us.
KSLA Storm Tracker 12 weather. We track storms.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Storm Tracker 12 Chief Meteorologist Jeff Castle here. And the heat, that's been the story the last couple of days. It's going to be a story again tomorrow, especially if you're south of I-20. Heat advisories, as we have talked about over the last couple of days. I mentioned that they could be coming back, and they have. National Weather Service does have a heat advisory in effect from noon tomorrow until 7 in the evening for areas near and south of I-20. That heat index could get as high as 108 to 109 in those areas. The reason why the heat advisory not in effect here in the northern part of the Arklatex, Texas, is because we expect a little more cloud cover and better rain chances up in that direction. Here's a reminder, though, we've not had the heat advisories for a few weeks, so just a warning and talking about the potential dangers of high heat. Drink lots of water, seek shade or air conditioning, light colored clothing, and just limit your time outdoors. And something else to remember, the pets, they need shade from the sun, they need fresh, cool water, and you might even just want to bring them inside during the heat of the afternoon tomorrow. So don't forget all those things. Be sure to check on your neighbors as well. Make sure they're staying cool, especially if they're reluctant to turn the AC on or at least turn it down cool enough to really cool things off. Here's your temperatures right now. They are in the 90s. The exception is where we've had a little rainfall today, and that has knocked the numbers down. Only 82 in Minden, only 79 in Natchitoches, so some refreshing air there. Shreveport, though, not getting in on any of that. 91 in Shreveport and Bossier City. It's 97 Center. Even up here in the northern Arklatex, we're looking at low 90s in places like DeQueen, as well as Texarkana. Feels like 103 in DeQueen, feels like 100 in Texarkana, still feeling like 102 in Shreveport. And these heat index readings expected to be just a touch higher for some of you tomorrow afternoon. Here's your forecast hour by hour for your Thursday. Not much relief in the morning. Upper 70s as you head out. We're back into the lower and perhaps mid 90s in some areas tomorrow afternoon. That's going to be outside, though, of some rainfall, and I do expect a bit more of that showing up than what we've seen so far today. Future track heat index tomorrow afternoon starting at the noon hour, and if you're I-20 and point southward, it's already going to be feeling like it's in the low 100s around lunchtime tomorrow, and that heat index reading, or what it feels like, that could go as high as 105 to 108 in some areas. Again, the exception may be here in the far north. You do see Texarkana standing out, but the far northern Arklatex may not see that heat index quite at advisory criteria due to the fact that we'll have a little more cloud cover and slightly better rain chances up in that direction. Right now, live first alert Doppler radar not picking up much in the immediate area. One little shower here that's moved out of Vivian. That may affect you in Austin coming up here in the next 3 to 5 minutes or so, but it'll move through rather quickly, and most of the shower activity winding down later this evening. Might keep a couple showers around the I-30 corridor through midnight. And then tomorrow morning, look at future track, breaking out some scattered shower and thunderstorm activity. And it does look like we'll have better rain chances tomorrow than what we've had the last couple of days. So we take you into the afternoon hours after 1 o'clock, shower and thunderstorm activity flaring up. And we'll continue to see some heavy downpours track through the late afternoon and early evening hours tomorrow. So if you've not needed the umbrellas last few days, might need it tomorrow. So don't forget to pack it in the morning. Bumped up the rain chance 50% tomorrow. We'll keep it around 40% Friday and Saturday, and then see diminishing rain activity as we head into early next week. Temperatures, though, will not be diminishing. Outside of any showers and thunderstorms, we will stay hot and steamy, with temperatures running primarily into the middle 90s for your highs through next week. You're up to date with the latest 7-day forecast.
All right, Jeff, thanks. Perhaps you've heard there's this solar eclipse thing coming. All right, if you live in the path, or maybe you have family because you live here and we're not in the exact path of next week's solar eclipse, well, nearly 10 million visitors are expected to squeeze their way into the eclipse path. One shopping market in Idaho, which is in the path, is seeing a shortage on bottled water and other basic supplies.
We're hoping we can get shipments every day to keep up with the demand that we're going to have. There's going to be a lot of people coming through town.
South Carolina says its National Guard is ready to support first responders if needed. This sounds like Y2K. Meanwhile, Oregon's governor has already activated the National Guard to deploy additional resources.
Today, Elvis Presley fans pause to remember the 40th anniversary of the singer's death. We in Shreveport are fortunate to have our own little piece of history with the king of rock and roll. Elvis made his live broadcast debut back in October of 1954 at the Municipal Auditorium right around the corner as part of the famous Louisiana Hayride, which also featured acts like George Jones and Johnny Cash. Meanwhile, thousands of Elvis Presley fans are at Graceland today to mark the anniversary of the rock and roll legend's death. Mola Lingi is at Elvis's home in Memphis, Tennessee, and spoke with fans of the king as well as people who knew him well.
Fans arrived throughout the day at Graceland for a tour of Elvis Presley's home on this solemn anniversary.
There's just a special feeling about Graceland that there's no other place in the world.
40 years after the death of the king of rock and roll, tens of thousands of fans still make the pilgrimage to Memphis.
If you're an Elvis fan, you're family.
Wanda Sprung has been an Elvis collector for 60 years. She met Elvis when she was a teen.
I said, "Can I get your autograph?" So he said, "Why don't you just come in the dining room and have breakfast with me?" So I did. And I had the napkin that he ate with.
That was Elvis's napkin?
That was his napkin that he ate with.
Touring Graceland is just one of the many things fans can do here in Memphis during Elvis Week.
The unique thing about Elvis is that he never forgot where he came from.
Angie Marchese is the director of archives at Elvis Presley's Graceland, a $45 million Elvis entertainment complex that opened in March.
The exhibits here are not just about Elvis. They're about people who were influences of his as well as people who he's influenced.
Mark James wrote Suspicious Minds and several other Elvis hits.
I gave him 5 songs and had 5 singles. You can't get any more belief than that.
He says he was told Elvis was planning to record several more of James's songs at the time of his death. Mola Lengi, CBS News, Memphis, Tennessee.
Elvis remains the best-selling solo artist of all time. According to Graceland, Elvis has sold over 1 billion records worldwide. Back in a moment.
All right, let's take a look at what's hot on the web, the stories you've been clicking on this afternoon. One that we're continuing to update, that explosion at a plant near Benton in North Bossier Parish. Also, top story today, Cyport by Labor Day will be closing down. Big news conference today. A little revamp coming your way December 31st, a big grand reopen. All the details are there. Also, Shreveport police still working. Right before news time, there was a shooting on Roosevelt in Shreveport. There's a look at the scene there. We'll have the very latest on that coming up at 6 and online, KSLA.com, and on your mobile app.
And look at this. There's a hotel in Singapore that's going the extra mile in customer service. The M Social Hotel has added a room service robot. Hotel executives say the robot's goal is to deliver amenities to hotel guests. More robots are in the works for the hotel, including one that will be able to cook various kinds of eggs. Don't worry, leaders say the robots will not replace human employees. Scramble lightly. Over easy.
My kids fight over pressing the elevator button. They're going to be pressing buttons on the robot.
Do you have to tip the robot?
I'm sure there's a little slot on there.
Swipe your card. All right, what do you have, sir?
A little bit more rain tomorrow. Here's a snapshot of your Thursday afternoon. Pack the umbrellas. We'll talk more about the rain chances coming up at 6.
All right, thanks, sir.
See you back here in 30 minutes.
Get news on the go by downloading the KSLA News 12 news and weather apps. Search KSLA News 12 in your Google Play or iTunes today. Sponsored by Go Auto Low Cost Auto Insurance. No expensive add-ons. Call or go online to get a quote. KSLA News 12 this morning. Up to the minute.